definitely been on and off of diets and have often gained back a lot of weight or some of the weight or even more weight than you lost on the diet, I want you to know that it's not your fault. Diets do not work, and as we already learned, 83% of dieters regain more weight than they lose. And part of the reason for that is the diet industry and these diets, they set us up to fail because they create these artificial food environments where they teach us that we can only diet if we have these big fences around us. So that we have to eat shakes and bars or avoid entire food groups or get our food delivered or only go pick up our food and only have our food prepared for us. That we can't actually be involved in the food because if we are, we have no willpower and will surely fail. So but this really sets us up to fail after the diet because it creates a completely artificial environment. So when we go back to real life, we never learned how to change. We didn't make any adjustments, and of course we're gonna gain weight. And most people regain even more weight than they lose. So I don't want you to feel bad about that. I want you to know that it's not your fault. And I want to talk about some other myths out there associated with diet or weight and food. And one thing I often hear people say is, well, you can't eat late at night because you'll gain weight. And calories are calories are calories. So whatever the amount is that you're eating, if you eat it at midnight instead of at 6 p.m., it doesn't mean that you're going to gain a bunch of weight that you wouldn't have otherwise or save you gaining weight. Because even though your metabolism varies, that amount is insignificant. So you can throw that myth out the window. And the second myth is that fat is bad. And the truth is that it depends what kind of fat. And actually, a lot of people are missing good fat from their diet, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, essential fatty acids that we can't manufacture. And they've been obliterated from our diet because they're unstable. And so food manufacturers have decided economically, which there's nothing wrong with that, but they've taken them out of our diets and creates a lot of problems. So I don't want you to think that fat is bad. It really depends on what type of fat, and that you need to get the right amount of fat and the right kinds of fat. And without that, you're going to suffer. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in detail as we move forward. And the third myth is that dieting is good or we should go on diets. And really, you should only go on a diet if you want a temporary result. Because a diet by itself, by its very definition, and by the way it's set up, is temporary. And what really works, the only thing that works, is to gradually, over time, change your lifestyle. And the key is, how do you do that and not go crazy? How do you do that and still have fun? How do you do that? So I want to start you on that journey. And the way to start that journey is to think about planning. A lot of times we hear that cliche, people don't plan to fail, but they do fail to plan. So I want to do a little bit of planning with you. And the first thing to know is, where do you want to go and why do you want to get there? So I want you to envision what you want your life to be like. What do you want your experiences to be like? How do you want to feel? How do you want to be? What do you want to do? And just let your imagination run wild. Be like a little kid. And the second question is, why do you want those things? What will it mean to you? How will you feel? What are the reasons? Just really dig deep and think about that. And there is a worksheet for you to fill out as well. I look forward to helping you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.